Hey there, this is Troy Baker, and this is a piece of Schmidt.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Piece of Schmidt podcast, the podcast where we sit around this table and talk about the world's weirdest books.
That was also a Macho Man opening again.
Kind of, yeah. I wasn't going for that, but I'll accept it. To my left, Wes Baumgardner.
Hello.
To my right, James Kircher.
Hello.
Behind the camera,
No one.
You can like us on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You can
Like on Facebook.
You can like and comment on YouTube, and let's do all the things you can do on all the platforms. Mm-hmm. On YouTube, you can like and subscribe and comment and watch live. On Twitter, you can follow and tweet and retweet and favorite tweets. Mm-hmm. On Facebook, you can follow
and like
and comment and poke.
And watch live.
Some not anymore, but you can. It's weird that they did that, and we did that. We're a pawn.
You want to know who does none of that stuff?
Kind of funny.
Wes.
Oh, Wes. Yeah, Wes. If you want to know more about Wes, you're
Just fucked.
Yeah. We'll do a one-on-one Patreon exclusive Wes interview.
Ask me anything.
Well, actually, Piece of Schmidt has revealed a lot about Wes.
We should do an AMA with Wes, though.
Maybe one day. Hopefully, we get to that point. Well, we'll do an AMA. And then on Patreon.com, you can support the show monetarily and comment. And on all the platforms, you can share with your friends because we're the best. Around, nothing's gonna Wes and James and Dan.
There you go.
30 seconds. I have 30 seconds. Looked
80s.
it up. Well, 30 seconds. I have a whole year of the 80s under my belt. Okay?
I've got 3.
So, I have one.
I have 10.
One.
How many years of the 70s do you have?
Just one.
Oh, just one?
Guess what I got? A weird-ass book. This is going to be more of an educational episode
Professor Aaron.
of the Piece of Schmidt podcast, but in a more we don't know what the fuck we're talking about kind of way, because I brought a book on to the show today called House of Leaves.
Not cards.
Not House of Cards. There's no gay
Sexual harassment
molesting in this book that I know of.
How many pages into it are you?
Well, so first of all,
Whoa. Hold on.
Yeah.
Look on the cover.
Uh-huh.
This thing is remastered?
Yeah.
From what?
Okay, so years ago, when House of Leaves was first being passed around, it was nothing more than a badly bundled heap of paper, parts of which would occasionally surface on the internet. So parts of this stuff just showed up on the internet at some point, and people would like mix it together and try to make sense of it. And then he actually got picked up by a publisher, and he put it all together into an actual story, colored all the words back in, and now it's like a book.
Wow.
So it originally was just like this weird thing on the
When did
internet.
it first come out?
At first, I don't know. Sometime in the 90s.
It was copyrighted in the 2000s.
The
In 2000.
actual book came out in the 2000s.
Okay.
2000.
And then so sometime in the 90s, it would just kind of
Can you humor me?
Yeah.
Can you read what that review says?
a rollicking. That's a weird word.
There, keep going.
Finkonesque oddity, a Nabokovian linguistic obsession, and a Borgesian unreality. House of Leaves jumps and skips and plays with genre-wrecking abandon, postmodern panache, and an obsessively imaginative scope that absolutely shames most books on the market today. The San Francisco Examiner and Chronicle really wants you to know that they know big words.
Yeah, that's what I've read. I'm like, what?
I don't even know. Psychonesque, I'm assuming Nabokovian and Borgesian are writers, like authors. Like Kubrickian. When you talk about movies, it's Kubrickian.
All right, I'm sorry. I got to look up some of these words.
Yeah, go ahead.
While you keep going.
Interesting.
So it's what's called a postmodern novel, which, if you Google what that means, is just as weird as the book. It means that it's after modern times. So basically anything after the 50s kind
That's
of.
considered modern times?
Postmodern. But this is in the 2000s. So like, so the last real, like if you're talking to like a literature major, the last real postmodern book that they will talk about is Infinite Jest. Familiar? No, not familiar.
I heard the name. I don't know anything about it.
It's like the last postmodern movie or postmodern book. Came out in the 90s, like 94, 95. But this is like 2001. So this is like postmodern. And so when you talk about postmodern books, apparently a lot of it has to do with like lists.
Yeah.
ahead.
It's real quick thing. It says postmodern literature
Yeah.
is literature characterized by reliance on narrative techniques such as fragmentation, paradox, and the unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
So, the three weird words are other authors.
Even that?
So, where's that?
How do you pronounce it?
Oh, you didn't look that up. So it's an adjective.
Pinecat?
Yeah.
Or
Characteristic of the style or content of the writings of the novelist Thomas Pynchon. Especially in
so he doesn't want you to know he knows big words. He wants you to know he knows authors you've never heard of.
featuring surrealistic irony or fantasy, or in being densely elusive, convoluted, or verbose.
Makes sense. That honestly is
All right.
perfect.
And then Nabokov,
Author.
Called
it.
a sly sense of the absurd.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah. And then so I was looking up the third one. Like, I just was realizing these are all authors. Which makes sense why those words look weird as fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, it like started on the internet and then it became a book. And like people are still on forums today finding hidden codes and messages in the book based on like if you read this page and then mix it with this page and use the first letter of every word, it spells this out, and that'll go to like this page and stuff. Like,
so that's why there's like underlines and writings and crossouts in parts of this book.
So these things, like where, let's see, like you know when you read a book and then there's like there'll be a little one next to it, and then you read at the bottom of the page and it gives you more information about that piece of the text. There's those. But then the actual narrator of the book, that Johnny guy, he will have his own little annotations, and he'll be so the guy who wrote the book is called.
It's right in the front.
Nope, you'd think that, but so Mark Danielewski wrote House of Leaves. Well, he wrote the book, right?
Right.
But House of Leaves in the book is written by this guy named Zampano.
Oh.
And then there's an introduction and notes by Johnny Truant. These are all fictitious characters except for Mark. So it's about a guy, Johnny, analyzing the writings of an analytic view that may or may not exist about a video by a guy named Navidson of him and his wife moving into this weird house on Ash Tree Lane that may or may not exist. So that untrustworthy narrator thing comes in because Zampano is this guy who lived next door to Johnny Truant's best friend in an apartment complex. So they're like drunk or what, they're like hanging out in LA and Hollywood, and they're like, oh, let's break into this guy's house or whatever, this guy's apartment. They break into his apartment and he's dead.
Oh, shit.
And he had like 20 cats. And then right before he died, like all his cats started going missing. He's like, his friend Johnny's friend was like, one of his cats was like beheaded like behind the apartment complex. One of them had his guts spilled out, and then other ones were just like missing. And then once they were all gone, now he's dead. And then there were these 4 big scratch marks in the ground, like right next to his dead body. And so they find this dead body or whatever, and then. And it's the dead body of Zampano. Oh. Then while Johnny is there, he sees these like piles of letters and things, and he takes them. And those are called the Navidson files or Navidson records. It also starts out with the what would you call that? Like when you the dedication is called is this is not for you.
Oh.
So
weird.
Instead of being like this is for my lovely blah blah blah, it's like this is not for you. So that's
I wonder who he's talking to.
Yeah. The first line is, I still get nightmares.
Really?
And then this part is really weird. Let's see. He talks about, like, there's going to be a point in everyone's life where you look up into the sky and you stop worrying about the stars that are really bright and you start worrying about the darkness that's in between them. And then you can't focus on anything else. And then you start to have nightmares, and you won't be able to sleep. And you try, and the sky is so full of stars, and it will blind you. And the only sky is empty, and no matter where you are, in a crowded restaurant or in some desolate street or even in the comforts of your own home, you'll watch yourself dismantle every assurance you ever lived by. You'll stand aside as a great complexity and truth. It's just like what?
Jesus.
What are you talking about? So then it goes into, that's the foreword. That's the introduction.
Okay, so joking. I was trying to joke earlier, but so you said you're on page 10. You've actually are on like page.
Exactly. So the first page after this is not for you is page 11.
Oh shit.
But Roman numeral 11 because
XI because it's an introduction. And then you get to the real book, which is and then it starts with must it be in French or German? I think it's French. So the Navidson record is Zampano obsessing about this documentary that came out about this people who moved into this weird house and all this crazy shit started happening. And it's like they talk about the Weinstein brothers and like they picked it up and they released it for a short time and then it went away and it was like a real movie.
Oh wow.
And so, but people are like, was that real or was it's like the Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
Like was that real or was that not real? Except for the Blair Witch Project was like clearly not real because they released a sequel. This is like if the Blair Witch Project came out and then no one ever heard of any of the actors or anyone after that. And then one of the actors in it was actually a photojournalist.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, he wasn't even a real actor? Like, was this a movie? I don't know if this was a movie or not.
Yeah.
How did they do all these weird shots? The first shot in the movie is called the 5.5 foot... Hold on. The 5.5 minute hallway. So there's this hallway that's like... He walks on this hallway for like 5.5 minutes and there's no cuts or no anything.
Yeah.
It's inside of his house.
Huh.
And it's all about this guy obsessing about this weird documentary movie. But then you get notes, like appendices from this guy, Navidson, who's like, for more information on this line, check out this book or this dictionary from this other library, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll get another one that's from...
Zampano?
No, Zampano is the one who did that.
Oh, he did the
Zampano
first
writes the first one.
Okay,
because this is his book.
Okay.
He writes the first one.
Right.
And then Johnny will be like, that book doesn't exist.
Right.
Like, I went to go look for that book, and that's not a real thing.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, is this real? Like, is the movie real that this guy's talking about? Is the stuff that he's writing about even real? And then it just gets fucking crazy by there. So this page, page 310 is empty. Page 311 says screen. That's it. Done with that page. That page has a dot on it. There's other pages, like I showed you earlier. Anytime they bring up the Minotaur, it's in
all
red.
yeah.
And it's scratched out.
What the fuck?
Anytime they say the word house, even on the cover, it's blue.
On the side, on the back.
Anytime they say house, it's blue. So then the book's over, right? So then you've got the book done. There's these pictures of inside of the guy's house.
An obituary
Reference. And then a fucking...
Looks like there was an index or something on the back.
There's an index.
Yeah.
Like a fucking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Of every time he used any word and where to find it.
It's like, references, yeah.
Fabric, face, factory, fail. And then there's this one. So there's blue word's house, red word minotaur. In the index, there's a purple word.
Uh-huh.
But if you go to the page that the purple word is on, that word is not on that page. So it's just a random word that he highlighted in purple that's not actually in the book. It's supposed to be an experience of reading that like jumps off the page and kind of just surrounds
Fucks your mind up.
you. Yes.
Wes is determined.
It's like a novelty at this point.
My question is, what's with the pause symbols?
Exactly.
There's a green one on the front cover, inside
Yeah.
cover, and then a tan? Gold?
Gold pause, yeah.
Is it a pause symbol?
Wait.
At this point, who knows?
Did you find the purple word?
No, but what's DNE?
Does not exist.
So he literally wrote in here, perplexed.
Yeah.
Doesn't show
like
up in this book.
every word, not just the words that were
Yeah.
used in this. Yeah. Minotaur is always in red.
Why does it say Minotaur red, Minotaur black? Oh, because the black version doesn't exist, but he still writes it in red.
Wow.
So, not only is it weird to look at novelty-wise, but there are hidden meanings
Yeah.
in all of this stuff that people are still decoding.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm intrigued by one thing if he does it.
Only one thing?
No,
I'm intrigued by this whole fucking thing.
So,
I'm scared to read it.
Where'd you pick that book up at?
Guy at work.
No, really?
We were talking about music, and we were, talking about guitars and stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, I majored in film, in 1920s German film."
Really?
And I was like, "Oh, like Fritz Lang?" And he's like, "Yes, like Fritz." And he's like, "No one never knows who that is." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, dude, I'm M and fucking Metropolis and all these movies I used to watch and
Yeah.
stuff." And so we just fucking bonded over that. And then he started talking about. He's like, I also did this this like extracurricular thing with one of my teachers about postmodernism, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And he's like, oh, it's like House of Leaves or like that. And I'm like, what's House of Leaves? He's like, you haven't read House of Leaves? It's fucking weird, man. And like he wrote it down, and then he let me borrow it.
Oh, no shit.
so interesting. When he puts like movies or something in quotes, it's the
Yes.
whole quote that he mentions. Also, it's really weird, but the isn't on a word that he uses.
Interesting.
It's in the book, but
Yeah.
again, maybe it's an article and they didn't want to write down like 2 pages of the.
Yeah.
You have to keep us informed on this because I'm intrigued. But
Yeah.
Some of it is like day 3. Some of it's a journal, but it's based. So it's a book based on a book based on a movie.
Yeah.
All of which may or may not exist.
Right. That's fucking wow.
It's super
That's
interesting.
crazy.
I have never heard of anything like it, and it intrigued me in this weird way. I'm scared to even read it.
Really?
Why?
Just because I don't know. Because I'm weird like that. Because I'm like, what if I go crazy if I read it? Like, what if it's like The Ring and I
gonna
finish?
be like pie.
okay. If you start going all Jim Carrey at number 23, we'll just slap you until you get better.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I like the attention to the details of stuff like the house. Everywhere on this book is that color, including, again, like we're looking at the reviews.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even randomhouse.com is
Exactly.
Wow.
Even on the reviews of the book at the beginning of it, house, like they're just saying the name of the book and it's still highlighted blue. What does it mean?
okay.
What's the significance of blue? What's the significance of house? There has to be a significant. Maybe it's not just a house. Maybe
Yeah.
the house, because the house isn't just a house. It's growing. So one of the weird things in the book is they hang a picture on the wall when they move in, and then the picture falls off. And so this is Zampano talking about the documentary or whatever. The picture falls off. So these weird things are happening. And then they realize that the picture didn't fall off. The wall outgrew the nail.
Oh,
And
weird.
it pushed the nail out.
Yeah.
And so the house is like growing on the inside.
No. Interesting thing. Blue.
Yep. And then these are lists, I believe. Everything in the little window are just lists.
That's crazy.
It's a window.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
it's an actual window. Like this is, if you look here, is the backwards of this page.
Oh.
Yeah.
That box.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If nothing else, this is a great novelty book.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if absolutely nothing else, if
Yeah.
you can derive deeper meaning, awesome.
SNA. PS.
Snaps.
SD.
SD.
Snaps.
Up with it.
Weird.
Then you have to
This
turn-
is upside down, so you have to turn the book around to read that.
Okay. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes the movie of the book?
Dude, has that not been the first question I asked in my head, but not willing to
Aronofsky.
ask the guy?
Aronofsky.
Totally. Totally. Well, only because he just made Mother, and it's about the house being,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's like
and-
he
and
makes
he-
weird house movies now.
And he, no, just the fact, like, all of his films have this weird, I guess, postmodern edge is what you would say.
I would
Exactly.
tweet him.
Yeah.
I would tweet him and be like, make this fucking book. Make it real.
Yeah. So there's also like an interchange between two people at one point in this book, and there's another book that this guy wrote that's just the same size. That's just letters between those two people before this happened.
Oh, wow.
So if you really enjoy this, you're going to end up getting that book.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone enjoys it. So it's themed as a horror book, but then the writer was doing an interview, and he was like, some lady came up to me and she was like, oh my God, I just finished House of Leaves, and everyone told me it was this scary book, but I realized when I finished it that it was like a love story. And he was like, yeah, you're right, it is a love story.
And
I'm
then
like,
you read what, then you do a quick read of what New York Times says.
funny, moving, sexy, beautifully told, an elaborate engagement with the shape and meaning of narrative.
I don't hear horror in there at all.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's about a haunted house, so everyone's like, oh, it's scary. Look, haunted. It just says that.
Haunted.
At realpo.com.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rend is... See, my big question then...
I want to know why there's a Minotaur involved.
Well, you were talking about a creature when we were first explaining this to us. There's
Oh, maybe that's the thing that made the
the cats and the...
or
They
the,
ate
the
the
big
cats,
yeah.
the big mark in
Yeah.
the ground when spoilers, I guess. That's just a
It says it's from a VHS of the Telmore Zidakar collection.
so the page 660 is a picture of a tree.
What's page 666 look like?
That's a good question. Oh, it's the part of the
It's just part of that.
yeah.
No funny word there.
I want to find that purple word.
That's what I was trying to do. Was like, God, that's like 50 pages of
I know.
index.
It should pop out as purple, but
Yeah.
Rescue. There's a comic based on this. Of the
apparently in the
Navigant
universe there
Record.
is.
Yeah. Because these are all photos from in universe.
Yes.
Okay.
And apparently the first version didn't have Appendix 3, which is the pictures. So when they made this version of it full color, he added the pictures.
Some
and
random French stuff.
looks like a letter.
Dear John letters. Johnny.
Oh, so that's to Johnny Truant, the guy.
Yep. About his mother. Oh, and then there's a full-on, like, 3-page letter from, or a couple pages letter from Mother.
Interesting. So that's a thing.
Should be a segment for a little while you're going through that book.
Sure, yeah. Don't you just love that? Like you like, I'm bored. There's everything in the world is the same, and like I
Yeah.
go to work and I play video games, and like a new video game comes out, that's cool. And when we review movies and we do a podcast, and that's super cool and unique,
Yeah.
kind of. And then like, you just didn't know that this kind of thing existed,
Yeah.
and it's cool to know that like this there's a thing like this.
Yeah, and maybe
It's just cool.
Like, you might get done with this book and tell me it's the worst thing you've ever read.
Absolutely. I don't even know how I'm going to read it. Like, how do you read that? There's just a bunch of X's. How do you read it?
Perhaps. So it looks like it's, I guess, redacted for a term? I don't know. We're just...
Is that one of the things where you stare at it and it makes a word or a shape or something?
It kind of seems like it, but I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look on the back. It's like a love story. One of the last reviews says it's a love story.
A love story by Semiotishan. I love finding new weird things in the world. When you think you've found it all and think that everything is the boring, same old blah, there's just something weird out there that you can absorb.
That's why I like going to all those weird little small town antique stores and oddity shops.
You're going to find something that you've never
Yeah.
seen before. It's just fucking cool, man.
Definitely cool.
I wanted to share it with you. So yeah. And got to ride in a Tesla.
And have barbecue.
Let me tell you, dude.
Our Tesla's worth it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Now keep in mind, this guy is the head of the department of the Google video chat. So he's the head of the video chat department at Google.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he still had to get a deal to buy the Tesla. He got they have a used program kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it had 7,000 miles on it already. And then you get a discount for the energy preservation part of it or whatever. So he ended up, it was $100,000 car that he got for $60,000.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
But he let me sit in it, and then he was like, "Do you want to drive around the parking lot?" And I was like, "No, that's okay." And he's like, "No, go ahead." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
Was it auto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we walked back to the front of the store, and he on his phone told it to pick him up, and it
Wait,
picked
what?
him up. Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? The car?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it drives itself.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it has speed to it too. If you want to
Speed. It's a super fast car.
That's what I mean,
0
yeah.
to 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fuck shit up.
it's a high performance car with all
Yeah.
that cool crazy.
It's
shit
not
in
like the Tesla hybrids that are affordable. Where you can pay 40, and you can say, "Hey, I have to drive a Tesla."
They don't even have those yet.
Oh, they're not out yet?
No.
Oh.
This is so. What I drove was the Model 3, which is the new cheap model, which is still 100% electric. The Model S is what he had before, and then he traded it into he wanted to downgrade a little bit. And everything's electric right now. They don't have anything gas at all.
Oh, okay.
There's no gas in any Teslas at all. The little iPad thing that's in there is huge, and the silliest but coolest thing about it is there was a winter update to it, so you could hold the thing, the little voice control thing, because you can hold it down and be like, play fucking It's So Easy by Guns N' Roses, and it just has this infinite music library. It has it's not Spotify, it's not Apple Music, it's just has it built in. It's LTE, right? So it uses mostly AT&T towers, but you just ask for a song and it'll just play the song. You don't have to have it. It just comes with the car. Hold that thing down and you go ho ho ho. And then your little car diagram on the thing turns into a sleigh.
Really?
It starts playing Jingle Bell Rock on the radio.
Nice.
And when you turn, it goes ching, 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 ching. And I'm like, why not, dude?
That's awesome.
That's fucking hilarious.
I would use that all the time.
It's so stupid, but I would do that. I would still have that rocking.
middle of July.
So when you say
They copied the sparrows from Destiny.
yeah, it's exactly like that. If you say navigate me to New York City, it'll cool, and it's fucking fast. It just boom, here's New York City. Here's your path to New York City from Seattle, and then it notifies you all the Tesla stations, the
nice,
charge
the
stations,
charge, yeah.
which are free, by the way. So you never pay for anything.
How long does it take to charge though?
It depends on the station. There's supercharge stations, which you do pay for. But he said that he charged his car from empty in Portland at one of the supercharge stations, and it says total amount charged $5.71.
Oh shit!
How long did it take him?
An hour and a half.
So this is something cool. Let's go get.
But
some...
it was at a hotel.
Oh, okay.
So they show you which ones are just stations, which ones are hotels, which ones have restaurants next to them.
I was gonna say that probably gets restaurants a decent amount of business because it's oh, your Tesla's charging, cool. Come eat some food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or coffee.
And then on the regular map, if you just pull it up, it'll highlight the ones that you can get to on your current charge, and then gray out the ones that you're not able to get to because you won't have enough battery. So you know which ones you can get to.
That's interesting. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's fucking great. Lane guidance. So if you start veering off, it vibrates the seat and stuff, and so you and then it autocorrects itself. What else? Oh, you have profiles. So like, if I got in it, I could hit Aaron, and then the seat will like go to where I put it, and then Becca could come in and push Becca, and then it'll like lift the seat up and like put it where she is and stuff. That was cool.
Is it quiet being all electric?
Can barely hear it.
What about road noise? Since you tested it.
Barely anything. Like
Oh.
it's crazily insulated. It's just super quiet. The suspension is ridiculous. Like we went over train tracks, and it was like didn't even know.
Do you get climate control with voice?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can be like turn it to whatever, like make it this
65 degrees.
temperature.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
It's very minimalistic. So it's just the tablet. There's no like anything else. You don't even change like where the air comes out of or anything like that. It's just a dashboard, a steering wheel, the tablet, and the glove box.
So where is the speedometer? Do you still have a speedometer there, or is it on everything on the tablet?
That's a good question. I didn't notice. I think it's there.
So you
but
can-
it's like this little screen.
So you'll still have at least like speedometer and current charge maybe.
That's on the tablet. So
That's on the tablet.
on the left on the left side of the tablet, like towards you can see your tire pressure, how much charge you have, like how many miles you.
I guess stupid question. Do Teslas need specific tires?
No,
Okay.
no, it's a good question. God, it was just fucking cool, man. Like his phone is his key, so like as you walk up to it, you hear it go like chink and like unlock, and then the handles go like. You know, they pop out because you're in the area. And then we walked out.
They pop out like this.
Like this.
Not like this.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Wow. Damn, that sounds cool.
It was... I already wanted a Tesla like super bad because I love Elon.
But now it's like
Now it's like, I actually got to fucking sit in one and drive one and like see all this and like...
Life goal, man. That's a life goal.
It is a life goal, man. Like,
Yep.
it's on your bucket list. Own a Tesla.
I gotta own a Tesla. I gotta.
But
You heard it. You heard it,
but to
Patreon
be-
people.
But to be fair, you want like this level of Tesla. You don't want a Tesla if they come out with like the 30,
No.
40.
I want the electric, like
Yeah.
all electric, yeah.
Because it has like what 300 batteries or something in it.
No, it's just one big battery.
Oh,
But
no.
it's a yeah, you're right. It's one big battery, but it's a combination of a bunch of batteries.
Yeah.
We were talking about like the me and the guy, we were talking about the latest patent that he got that was just approved by the US government to send satellites and produce internet for the entire world. So that we can fuck Comcast and basically what he did to like the automotive industry of like come out with something that's fucking awesome and that's like changing the way we drive cars. He's gonna do that for internet now too.
Well, that's what Nikola Tesla wanted to do, was give everybody free electricity, and then he got fucked. So now Elon's like reverse fucking Comcast.
He's doing some
Comcast is like the fucking what do you call it, Edison?
Yeah, because he's what low orbit satellite internet or something like that.
Yeah.
Something to where like even weather won't affect your speed.
That's fucking crazy,
Yeah, and it just got approved.
and you won't be throttled
Yeah,
by a shit fuck company.
Yep.
pretty crazy, man. Crazy times.
God, I hope Elon reproduces.
He does.
Does he have kids?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was like 4, I think.
Oh, really?
Like a lot. Yeah.
I hope they're not idiots.
Pretty cool stuff. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nope.
Well, thank you for joining us on this super cool episode of Peach Schmidt Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe on all the social medias. Support us on Patreon. And until next time, we'll see you next time.